It's finally Wednesday, the day we have been waiting for so long. The release of Darth Vader issue number 5 is today, my friends. Seeing that yesterday was the release of the Mandalorian trailer, I think we are getting spoiled. As Star Wars fans, we have got an abundance of content as of right now, so let's start where we left off with the preview pages, where we saw Darth Vader taunt Sabé to go get her friends and meet him at a secluded place. The place where Darth Vader was headed after he entered Padme's tomb and discovered where Padme was just before her death. The next page shows us Darth Vader traveling to Polis Massa. A crumbled Polis Massa was now decades after the last time we saw it in Revenge of the Sith. Everything was destroyed, even the maternity droid that handled Padme giving birth and her death. Slowly, Darth Vader's shuttle lands closer to the complex. Together with Zed and the Death Troopers, they start heading for the starport control. Vader knew immediately where to go, and even though it was damaged, it was not fully destroyed. Zed, the forensics droid that accompanied Vader everywhere, seemed to infiltrate some of its memory, and it arrived at this holo recording, a Naboo J-type star skiff transporting Padme Amidala and 2 droids. This shuttle was flown by none other than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now Vader learns the full truth, that Obi-Wan flew her to this place in order to save her life. Vader could not muster any words except for Kenobi. This name would live to haunt him for so long, even now after Ben Kenobi's death. He recounts those gruesome memories of his where he virtually saw Padme betray him on Mustafar by bringing Obi-Wan to kill him. Obi-Wan was a liar in all intents and purposes, and to make matters worse, Zed could not access the medical logs in order to find out what happened to Padme and to see how she died. Even though they were having enormous trouble, now more trouble was coming, and Vader invited them. It was the Amidalans, the rebel faction that was sworn to destroy the killer of Padme Amidala and Anakin Skywalker. They knew to be Darth Vader, but Vader was prepared. The rebels started attacking Vader immediately, but he had a secret plan. He bombarded the rebels with laser fire by the Death Troopers. They had cannons that they could fire at the ships, and as far as aerial support went, they were completely destroyed, even with Vader using the Force. Now ground forces were coming for Darth Vader without any mercy. A huge battle ensued in the aftermath as Vader recounted every single step that he took on Mustafar, how he force-choked Padme. The culmination of everything was coming on Polis Massa. Vader, together with his Death Troopers, would exact revenge on anybody who defied him and who wanted to stop him from learning the truth. After all was said and done, the corpses of rebels were still left behind by Darth Vader. He had killed everybody, and now both of them journeyed inside the maternity ward. Vader touched the bed where Padme once laid, giving birth to his and her child. He asked Zed what did the record say, but unfortunately nothing could be done. These were so damaged that nothing could be accessed, but that wasn't the right answer for Darth Vader as he slammed his fist on the bed and shook Zed with the Force, slinging him to the side. Zed was sorry, but there was nothing he could do until Vader notices a medical droid. Zed concludes that she was badly damaged, but they could access part of her memory bank to see what actually happened, and there it was. Vader was left stunned to see Padme one last time laying on that bed in agonizing pain. It was Padme. Vader simply had nothing to add or say. He was just watching everything unfold, and all of a sudden Padme uttered that name again, Obi-Wan. Zed was stunned once again. This name keeps coming up. It seems that this Obi-Wan character must have been very important to Padme. Even the insinuation gave Darth Vader the wrath that he wasn't accustomed to as he ignited his lightsaber, yelled out in anger as he destroyed Zed with one swift stroke. But that did not quench his anger. Even though Zed laid there in pieces, Darth Vader couldn't couldn't help but hear Padme's last words in her existence. And these words were not something that Vader had ever heard in his life. Padme went on to say, and ultimately tell Vader himself in this instance, that there is still good in him. She knows that there is still good in Darth Vader, that Anakin still lies somewhere inside. This was as closest as Darth Vader could come to Padme in what seems to be the last time he ever pursued something to do with Padme Amidala. Now he would be totally focused on his son. But you could see that this was the spark that led to the burning fire of light that would one day succumb Darth Vader. Anakin was slowly coming out, and these words by Padme Amidala, the last words that she spoke, were the inspiration for what I believe we see in the end of Return of the Jedi. The comic even shows us that, where Vader is transported back on that bottomless pit on Bespin. Now instead of Luke falling, it is Vader who falls himself, down to a pit of despair. As he slowly falls, he gets transformed into a younger Anakin, a naive Anakin that thought he could fix the galaxy, and ultimately the kid that thought he could do it all, the pure and innocent child that started out doing good. Now he was the monster of the galaxy. With that business concluded, Darth Vader was ultimately summoned by Palpatine, where he returned to Coruscant and inside the Imperial Palace. Palpatine, surrounded by royal guards, asked his apprentice had he concluded the business that he was searching for, and Vader gave out a simple "Yes, Master," insinuating that his private business has been concluded, although not offering any more detail. "Really?" said Palpatine, "because the Sith know that fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate, and hate leads to strength." Vader had allowed himself to be wallowed in grief. This meant that Vader had taken a step back. He needs to start all over again, and he needs to start with fear. As Palpatine ignited his palm with lightning blazing through it. And of course, what else can I say, but we are left with another cliffhanger. It is to be continued from here, but by the cover itself for issue number 6, it shows what will happen to the unfortunate Darth Vader. He is to be punished and beaten down by Palpatine once more. The challenge that Vader will go through in that next issue will be something to behold, and as always, unfortunately, we need to wait a month for that, but I want to know, what did you think about this particular issue? The conclusion of the Vader-Padme saga, or at least how I see it. Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.